You can't like predict it. Like even
Exactly.
how planned you are.
Yeah.
Like
I was.
even speaking to Mike, like when he picked me up.
And then I'm gonna do the moisturiser.
It's so weird.
Oh yeah. Moisturiser. Where's Emma?
You know how you were not sure about what we should go and he got on the solar. Yeah, it was really gonna like grab some flowers in the bush or something.
Yeah. I was like, and
You
he'd
would
go down
count
flat.
that
I was like,
before,
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it was. No one noticed.
Well, no.
It is some of
Oh yeah, these are the little
the-
mini things.
That's the.
And the green tip one.
That's a Matt's. That's Matt's guts, and the green tip is the. Laura.
Yeah.
He's like, I wonder what the song.
Hang on, Kuno. Conrad's gonna come at 1:15, 1:20. That's on. I feel really excited, but you know when you got that mental list going? Like, have I done everything? Do you want something to eat? We have some snacks and stuff.
No one died.
You can frame that.
No one died for the wedding. Top quality. It's the wedding. The top bit. Let's just hide the top bit. My wedding is top quality.
That's
so funny.
Mum, this is a song.
Give us, let us have one.
Oh, what's it?
Oh, forever.
Oh, you.
You're out of it, bitch.
I need a mirror.
In?
Where are the mirrors?
In, I think.
Emma?
I think in looks better.
Where are those mirrors?
Yeah.
In. More tailored.
Put your flaps in, Dad.
Flaps in.
Suck your flaps in.
Flaps in.
This one's gone a bit skew-whip.
Warm out there, isn't it?
It's nice of you.
I like them.
It matches you. What do you hold your bouquet? It's white.
Okay. You look like bride versus bride.
They look good.
Yeah, I like them.
This hotel, go across the road, the bus driver can't get there.
Very light. I
Fucking hell.
don't like them.
That's too funny. That's pretty great.
Oh Mike, you are funny. Aww. It's actually like really nice to read it again. Aww. So cute. This one's the best. Oh, I'm wild for you. Laura, my little love monkey, we're getting married. Can you believe it? I can't. It's gone so quickly. That's what she said. Oh, Mum, you need to be quiet. We're videoing something. Can you tell her to shut up? Okay, I'm gonna start again. All right. I'm wild. Laura, my little love monkey, we're getting married. Can you believe it? I can't. It's come so quickly. That's what she said. It feels like we only just got engaged. I'm so excited to get married to you. You are the love of my life, and we will now be together forever and ever. We're also finally making Bandy an honest fur child instead of a fur bastard. I'm not going to gush, but I'm a very lucky man to be marrying such a beautiful, caring, sexy little fox. I can't wait to see you walk down the aisle in your amazing dress and have your dad give you away to me. You're the ultimate gift that will keep on giving for the rest of my life. Now let's have an amazing day together with our wonderful friends and family. This is our day and we're going to enjoy it. I love you, Mike.
I guess mine it was pretty just generic, but you know.
Is that tight enough? Let me get it on. Just gonna go tight. Your hair looks nice. Okay. Like it.
Alright, we're going to put the veil.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Now, what's the veil?
Should I put my shoes on?
Yeah. Okay, veil ready to go.
Yeah, it's like.
What are you doing?
We saw that when we were buying the dress. We saw all these.
Big girls wearing it.
I just wanted backless. That was my only thing I wanted. Oh, did something break in there when you did that? Oh well.
No, it was just me pushing that.
Ah, okay. Let's just do the other one. Let it calm down a bit. That's all right. I don't think it's bleeding actually. It just feels really sore. What do you say?
We're getting to hurry up.
Okay.
Once, they've arrived.
Cool.
Then
I'll keep waiting.
That's fine.
See the pin.
Slash sister. On three. 1, 2, 3, and yes. One more. 1, 2, 3, and done.
That's good. Although it seems to make it slow. Correct. Catches, mate. Yeah. Yeah, okay, mate. Do you want one? I got a Caesar outside. Yeah, tell Steve to grab some.
How are the girls?
Work.
The problem is with these speeches, but how of the time you get there, you won't be able to read it.
Got a highlighter, anyone? What are you gonna? That's fine. I'm not gonna read it. Yeah, I might use my phone.
I think so. That's good, man. Long as you read it, mate. You can have a few drinks.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end up saying your own story. Yeah. I'm just gonna go to each paragraph and be like, oh yeah, that's that story, and then I'll the story.
Well, vlogs are usually meant to be about relevant
It's only stop putting fun photos.
This is where you do not put. This has got to go with the other two.
Be there 10 a.m. sharp.
You just chuck
No, but
them
with
in the
Craig, you
middle.
just have to call him on bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I learned with him now. He's
Yeah.
like, he doesn't get offended.
Yeah.
But he just
just
from
wants
those
to
people, he will
strike.
push.
Yeah.
He will push past the line every single time you're like, get in your box.
Yeah.
He told me he's not too happy with Aussies because he's a Kiwi.
Do you need this bike? Yeah, right. Cheaper Laura.
Nah. Big diamonds, isn't
It's almost like a sunrise.
Yeah.
I think she's done a great job. Like Laura was like, going back
What's
to
the
now,
band?
change
The
this,
band
do
go
that.
underneath?
No, so the diamond goes in here.
Yeah.
So our engagement ring sits
Oh,
there, and that
sweet.
goes
So it
around
captures
so
it.
looks
Cool.
like it's inside it.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
And I'm like, every time I sound like, you guys are already coming in, like 60 people now.
That's awesome, man. Well, hopefully, you guys are ready
Are
for
you,
that.
that
Yeah,
all
well, I mean, it's just trying to make it easy on myself. It's straightforward.
You are in your shirt, man? Yeah, Lord on me. I didn't do that. Yeah, but low tide. It's gonna be a long video. It's good. I'm enjoying this. Bonding time is your guys' brother thing, mate. But I don't know how. Why don't you go like this, mate?
What are we going to staple the bow tie together?
Take it to the show.
Nice bow tie. What a great athlete. Yeah. It's like good targeting. My phone's up for real.
Drape the tie around your neck with one end hanging one.
This is history being made, by the way. He never wears a tie, ever. Like in front of a judge, he didn't wear a tie. So.
Which time? The first time in the camp.
We got to know the ropes when he was 16 years old. I was his lawyer.
Step 5. Push the long end aside and double the short end on itself.
Yeah.
That lost me on the seventh.
Yeah.
It's confused,
yeah.
Oh, it is.
That's my main skill. Main skill is that so my background is similar to I guess what you guys do is in IT, program management, and then I quit my job as a producer.
Seriously, that's a good outcome.
That's how I think this is
Don't touch. Good speech as well.
Chris, can you take it? He keeps touching it. Don't touch it.
It's done. Do you know how much we sweated through this?
I know, you bonded, it's good, that's what I wanted.
Undies are so.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
That's not the end.
What do you, Dak? You signed this up for?
You're like the silver right
I know, it's intense.
This is how it happened.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to talk about
Yeah, look, it's smooth. He's got it already made up, eh?
What if you get a little socket scat like these?
I don't like it, they bench up, I'm fine with it.
Okay,
Take it around.
No sauce, it's easy, Robin. On the bow tie. No sauce, it's easy. Sweaty feet, straightforward. Yeah.
Mike, we've got these little top sock things.
Yeah, like those.
Pansy, puffy things, there. I've got real socks that I no, can't bring those, I'll bring you a pair.
Good hand with your bow tie on.
Great job.
There's speeches, but I don't really how we're going to hold them.
Jared's gonna take them for us.
Yeah. So good.
They're good, buddy.
Good. It's
Not bad.
Matching shoes, love it.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
No one can tell I have a stoop.
Just have a word. It's the first time we've actually been friends together. It's really nice.
Get yourself up there, Robin.
Yeah, go on.
Do one of them first.
No shows? You knew those existed.
Alright mate, so this is the last photo of him as a single man, so he's got one more opportunity to actually take off.
Party tricks.
Yeah, perfect.
There's another shot we're gonna do. We're gonna turn around.
Oh mate, start this through. Yeah.
Mike's been dreaming of this since he was a
Alright,
little boy.
I can see this.
Since he was a little boy, he's been thinking about this.
Alright guys, on 3. 1. We've got a leap in the way, mate. 2, 3, and flex! Yes! See those veins just popping out from here. Mary! But I get to see it. It's all being recorded, so you get to see it later. We do nothing. We just stand still. Oh, she looks awesome.
was a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home.
Who has the right to give his bride to this man? I should be ready. Let's shake his hand.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks. Does it come with a manual?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may all kindly take your seats now. All right, can I just take just a step forward? You guys have been together before, haven't you?
We met. Had a cocktail or two.
We've met.
Friends and families of Michael and Laura, a Fijian warm welcome to all of you. Bula! I welcome you all here today to witness their marriage, and I'm glad to solemnize the same under the powers vested upon me as a marriage officer under the Marriage Act of Fiji. My name is Usaya Andranimasi, and I'm duly authorized by law to perform this union today. But before both of you, Michael and Laura, are joined in matrimony, it is my duty to remind you of the solemn and binding characters of marriage, which is in the law of voluntary union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of others. May I ask you this, and this time only, is this marriage in accordance to your own wishes and desires?
Yes.
You sure? Because there's no going back from here.
Yes, please.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, Michael and Laura would like to acknowledge a few people who were unable to make it here today. Laura's Nonna Orlando, her Nonna Nancy, her Nonna Victoria, who have passed away, but we know are watching down. And I just have a minute of silence. Thank you. Laura's other Nonna Nancy, who is not able to travel anymore, but has loved and supported Laura for her entire life. Bandy, who is Laura and Michael's fur baby, and wishes he could be with us here in Fiji. So ladies and gentlemen, let's just give these people and loved ones a big round of applause, just to show that we are remembering them on Laura and Michael's special day. The marriage of a man and a woman is intended to be a union of two hearts, bodies, mind, action in a single love, affection and joy, a union of strength, sympathy, and delight. The exchange of wishes and the joy and fulfillment of your lives together. Marriage enables two separate people to share their desires, their longings, their dreams, and their memories, to help each other through the uncertainties, to provide the support and the encouragement to risk more, thus yet more. In marriage, we learn to give each other reassurance by the complete sharing of ourselves, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. And thus, for you, Michael and Laura, you're about to make this commitment based on your mutual love and understanding. Now, with all these words being said, I will now ask the two of you to publicly declare your intentions to marry. Laura, I'm going to give you a bouquet to
No, okay. Sorry.
I'd like the two of you to hold hands.
Okay.
Michael, will you take this woman in front of you to be your wife, to live together in this marriage? Will you comfort her, honor her, keep her in good health, in sickness and forsaking all others, be faithful to her? Do you promise to provide her with all necessities of her life, so long as you both shall live?
I do. I will. Both.
There's some certainty in there.
Okay. Super confident.
Laura, will you take this man in front of you to be your husband, to live together in this marriage? Will you comfort him, honor, keep him in good health, in sickness and forsaking all others, be faithful to him? Do you promise to provide him with all necessities of his life, so long as you both shall live?
I do. I will. Is that you? Will.
Say both of them.
I will and I do.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will now invite Michael and Laura to exchange the promises that they will keep for the rest of their lives. In other words, I will now invite the two of them to exchange their marriage vows.
Who goes first?
Who's going first in this?
Do you want me to go first? You want to go first? Okay. I pledge to always ensure you get enough sleep. I will do the early bandy walks no matter how cold it is. If it's raining or if I have an early flight, I will ensure that you get the maximum amount of hours in bed possible so you're forever rested and happy.
Mike, I promise to be an understanding wife and will always do my best to be a better listener than Bandy.
Interesting. I promise to always listen. I will not try to cut to the end of a story or immediately start to try and solve problems before you've even had a chance to finish a sentence. I will be patient and listen.
I promise to always stick by you, even when I know you're wrong, but let you think you're right.
I promise to always respect you and appreciate everything you do for me, and I will never put ketchup on anything you cook before tasting it, especially Thai curry or pasta.
I promise to continue to support your ocean addiction and never come between you and the wind and the waves.
I promise to be here for you always, to love and support you no matter what life throws our way. I will be your rock, made of cuddles and hugs, as we dive into this next exciting chapter of the epic novel that is our life.
I promise to be the best person I can in our relationship, to support your dreams and intentions, and always put us first.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give them a big round of applause? Now we have come to the ring ceremony. If I could have the rings.
Don't screw it up.
Michael and Laura. Wedding rings serve as a symbol of vows which you both have taken. They are the outward and visible sign of an inward and invisible love that binds your life together. As the ring of the earth's finest material, so shall your love be of the riches of human value. See these rings? They have no beginning and no end, but they symbolize the perfection of love that knows no end. They he who give this ring and she who wears them continue to live together in peace and happiness. I want you to take the ring. Put it in my finger.
Nothing?
Like that.
Got the engagement ring. Oh, not on yet?
Just hold it there. Halfway.
I've not done this before.
That's it. Call out her name.
Laura,
This ring
this ring
is my precious gift to you.
Is my precious gift to you.
As a sign.
As a sign.
That from this day forward.
That from this day forward.
You shall be surrounded.
You shall be surrounded.
And encircled.
And encircled.
By my love.
By my love.
Are you defeated?
Michael,
This ring
this ring
is a token
is a token
of my endless
and
abiding love. Just as the circle is
the circle
is without end,
is without end,
my love for you is eternal.
my love for you is eternal.
Don't blame me, it's the pigeon weather that makes your body good. Okay. Michael, no kissing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite Michael and Laura to the signing table to sign their Fijian marriage certificate. For us Fijians, this is where we tell the groom, you get ready to sign your life away. Over this side, please.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. There's something else. Watch this. They'll learn much more.
Or you can have your
and I think to myself,
just go back to where you were.
What a wonderful world.
I'll have your witnesses now.
So pretty in the sky.
Take a seat.
Also
I'd like you to sign your name. Keep sitting up.
And I think to myself, what a
Come back here. Yeah. Sign?
Okay, and if you lose them, before you read the Sheraton, the police will be after you.
Okay.
Know you therefore that by public taking of each other, as a man and a woman in my presence, and the presence of all these beautiful people that have gathered here today to officiate, to witness this marriage, and by the subsequent attestation thereof, by signing your name, that effect the two of you have now become legally married. Michael, I've never met a guy who emailed so much. It's been really an honor to be here today to officiate this marriage.
Oh, that's so
and with the powers conferred upon me as a marriage officer under the Marriage Act of Fiji, I, Usai Andranimasi, duly pronounce you as husband and wife.
Okay.
Well, that's true. You got me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newlyweds!
I got you, baby. hold my hand. I got you to understand. I got you to walk with me. I got you to talk with me. I got you to kiss goodnight. I got you to hold me tight. I got you, I won't let go. I got you to love me so. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
Okay, welcoming to the stage now, mother and father of the groom. Please make welcome Janet, the least likely to worry, Scott, and Robin, the Yotes.
Hi guys. Hi.
He's done this already.
You guys so expert, man. You've done this before. Well played. Are you hungry? I'll make you some food, Shebeki. Welcome, guys. The dashing and, as per the Bucks party, the better Scott, Matt, and the beautiful jet setting Emma. Oh yeah. Are they sitting in the right place or? And now, everyone with cameras ready, it's time to welcome the newlyweds. Here they are, Mike Scott and Laura Shebeki. Someone please bring a booster seat. I'm going to ask some questions. You're going to have to either put your hands on your head or by your side, and very quickly we're going to realise who is in fact the person that knows these two the best. It's also, I've noticed, a very, very competitive bunch, so let's see what we're playing for. An autographed family photo from the loving pair. With Bandy's contribution as well. Who I'm told had a better chance of getting into Fiji than I did. So that's what we're playing for, folks. Let's do this thing. One note of warning. If you know an answer, do not blurt it out, Laura. Keep it quiet, keep composed. Let's see how everyone goes with this quiz. Okay, let's get standing. Everyone up. Propose to Laura. Hands on head if it was Long Bay. Hands by your side if it was Long Beach.
Advantage for the overseas people. Aussies a disadvantage in that question.
Okay, who put your hands on your head? Joel, I saw that. Wasn't it your hometown? It was in fact Long Beach, so if you had your hands by your side, sit down. Hands by your side, stand up. Down. Okay. A lot of destination weddings, including many in this group. Hands on your head if they've been to 7 destination weddings, including Australia and Canada, or 5 destination weddings? Hands by your side. Okay, are we ready? So those destinations: Canada, Australia, Colombia, Ireland, Thailand, England, and the USA. No, that's just the recap. Here's one for the family. The first time Mike and Laura's parents met, did Robin think it would be funny to wear a prison outfit? Yes, for hands on your head. No, for hands by your side. If you've got your hands on your head, stay standing. Very classy. What is Laura's nickname for Mike? Is it Nobot because he has no arse? Or is it Robot because he has no heart? Hands on your head for Nobot. Hands by your side for Robot. All those with your hands on your head, sit down. We will see the robot later too, I think. We heard about this girl from work. This was probably the most contentious answer, by the way. When did they officially become an item? Was it November or was it February? They have since debated the topic and agreed on a set date. So hands on your head if you think it was November, hands by your side if you think it was February. Oh, Matt, you're out, mate. Has received from Laura. Was it? Yeah, this is G-rated. An organised ambulance trip after he fainted at the birdcage, which for the Canadians is a very big social event in Melbourne. Or was it his go-kart birthday party? Hands on head if it's the ambulance, hands by your side if it's go-karting. Ooh, that was a half fake, the head fake. It is the go-karting. We really need a tiebreaker here. If it was Canada, hands by your side if it was France.
Repeat.
It was Canada. We have a winner, I think. Charlie, is it still going? Okay, we need a tiebreaker. Sink, hands on head, or that he keeps taking her hairdryer to dry that mane of his. Hands by your side. What do you think, Charlie? Sponge in the sink for your head, or the hairdryer for your side? We need a tiebreaker here. In the sink. I think the people have spoken here, Charlie. You little legend. Well done, mate. Everyone had a chance to open their envelopes and read the personal messages. What a touch. Again, let's give it up for the bride and groom. So as has been pointed out to me, I did overlook about 6 things I was supposed to tell you first time out. So firstly, have any of the tunes been familiar? I'm getting a lot of blank stares. So we asked everyone as part of the survey to tell us a few of their favourite songs. We've got Marty here, who's a friend of the newlyweds, who's come across from Melbourne. He's spinning all night. Woo! And he's playing all of the tunes that were put forward in that survey. So, except for Celia's apparently. So if you hear your tune, do enjoy it. But again, a great reflection of the personal touch. The call out is we have a photo booth. Please do take the time to get a Polaroid, please do share your moment. Loving, cricket-loving, exceptionally proud father. Please welcome to the stage, Robin Scott.
Paid the cost to be the boss. Paid the cost to be the boss. I paid the cost to be the boss.
Okay, cut the music. It's cool. Okay, guys, we're having fun yet? Yes, we are. I've never not liked a mic. What?
Talk into the mic.
You like that?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You like it like that? You sexy woman, you. Seriously though, seriously. I'd like to thank, and I'm really happy this gentleman turned up today, because people were talking about me being MC, and I'd been screwed if I'd done that. Jared, thanks very much. Can you give him a clap? There's something I should clarify. I don't know where he got the gold digger from, but I don't go out looking for old ladies with fat wallets trying to become... Well, anyway, I don't do it. Actually, I like gold mining shares, that's the truth. It's still good. Okay, so I thought tonight I would, after three nights and 3 days plus today, a little bit hungover. In fact, the last time I was this hungover was when the vicar messed up with the wine and water at my christening. I love that one, it's just mine. I'd like to sort of make a real comment now, because this is honestly unbelievable. This is the, if you can give it up in a second, this is the best wedding rehearsal I've ever been to. Yeah, could you clap? Okay. Oh, sorry boys. Yeah. Hey, rock and roll. And also, Mike, I just got a note from one of the people in the crowd that the Canadian group from Rent-A-Crowd, to make up the numbers here, they're going to give you your flight receipts later, and you can play them out there. That's okay. We're a little light, you know, we didn't get enough people here, we just couldn't, it was just so far to come. So I thought what I'd do is a very brief summary of Mikey's moments in Mikey's life that related to me, and because Matt is going to do his own little thing later, I've left out a lot of stuff between the two of them, so I'm sure he'll bring those up. How am I doing so far? Is it good? Is it good? Thanks guys! I've seen a little number now. Sorry, that's it, oh, sorry, feedback. I hate that on the stage when I've got 1,000 people in front of me, it's horrible. Actually, from day one, when Michael was born, I was very happy. And his mother knows why. He had a small nose. That's right, Janet, you can hide. When, about 9 months before, we actually met the Who rock band, and Janet spent all night with Pete Townsend after he'd had the band show. 9 months later, Michael's born. Well, Pete Townsend's got a bloody big nose, so... Michael had a big nose, Janet was a bit in trouble. Yeah, you can smile, Mike. I was seriously concerned from that moment on. Anyway, Mike has always been very academic. In fact, the school he went to is so exclusive, he had to be recommended by a magistrate. And he graduated, he's top class in fact. Best one he actually got marks in was his money management for international cartels, which is impressive again. Anyway, he got to a point where he'd been working for a couple of years with a company in Canada, which had two ski hills, and he got into a certain type of protocol with the company, and a company from England called, as you heard, Responses. Okay. For those responses, it's very good, thanks, I appreciate it. Anyway, it got to the point where he was offered a job in England, and I have to give you a due, Mike. I'd like you all just to raise your glasses, because that was the toughest decision in his life, to leave the country he was born in, and he had no one to go to in England, basically. Cheers, Michael. You can... Someone wants to tap their glass, you know, what the usual thing, if you want to get them tapping. There you go, Mikey. 5 seconds max. Okay, let's make a meal out of it. I've got a lot to say yet, you know. That's good though, very nice. So anyway, it got to the point where he was asking his mum and I about relatives in England, because he'd obviously be keen to see them. We both come from the London area, where he was going to work. Unfortunately, all his mum's family had been institutionalised, and mine were either dead, deceased, or like me, deported. I like that one, I thought it was good. I write my own material, by the way, just so you know. Oh, you're too kind, really, you're too kind. Anyway, we got to the point where Michael had to go to the airport, and it was a pretty emotional day for us all. And I wrote down when we were there, because we had a meal and there was some catch-up stuff, so I wrote down on a napkin some comments that I thought would help him going to England. I can't remember all of them, but I remember two of them, and one of them was, if you make money, send it to me, and if you need money, ask your mum. Anyway, Mikey was so impressed with that, he didn't buy the company, but he actually framed the napkin, and it's on his wall at home, so Mikey, and I know that, yeah, I know it's pretty emotional for you. Anyway, he went to England, spent about 5 years there, and then, unbelievable, this is unbelievable, Responses bought a company in I call it Melbourne, you guys call it Melbourne. I mean, where do you get a bun out of Melbourne? Seriously, Melbourne? Nah, it's Melbourne. Anyway, it got to the point where he was going to come from England to lead the team, and that reminded me of Moses. Because Moses came down from the mount to lead his people, right? And the only thing, no, this is true, Moses and Michael had two things in common. You're gonna love this. This is my own work, by the way. Moses and Michael. Moses came down from the mount, and Michael came off the plane, and they were both wearing open-toed leather sandals. But me, even more impressive, they both had tablets under their arms. And even more impressive, you probably don't know this, some of you may do, we've been techies, but Moses was the first guy to download from the cloud to a tablet. I love that one. Anyway, when he got there, he met a young lady who worked, I think, just behind him in the station. And I remember when we came to Melbourne, I said, what did you think of Mike when you got here? She says, oh, cocky little sod. But anyway, after a period of time, they kind of got to know one another, and then I guess one thing led to another, and they moved in together. And the next thing you know, Michael and Laura have come to Canada and gone to a beach called Long Beach, because it's a long beach, and actually a pirate named that, because he, I shouldn't go into it, but he anchored off the bay and looked in with his good eye, and he looked along the beach, and he said to his first mate looking down, because the first mate lost both his legs in a pirate battle or something, he says, this be a long beach, this be. So it became, fast there, my shipmates, So anyway, that's how it became Long Beach. And the moment came when there were a group of us there, and if you have to understand, on Long Beach, it's on the Pacific coast. There's nothing between us on the island and Japan. We're 5,000 miles away, so you've got this freezing cold wind coming off the Arctic water flow. And we're standing there as a group, and bless her heart, Emma, 100 yards down the beach. It's okay if I talk this, isn't it? It's okay? Yeah, that's good, Mike. I'm going to do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, they've gone down the beach, and Mike's got a backpack on him, and they're chatting away there, and next minute, Michael turns around, and most people who are going to ask someone to marry them have got the ring somewhere pretty close to their body. No, Michael, we're standing there, he starts opening up his backpack, and it's got to be here somewhere. Finally he finds it, and then he drops to his knee, which immediately freezes to the cold sand, looks up, and we can see, and the young lady over there says, oh, I think he's going to ask her to marry him. And she throws her arms like she's seen the coming of the Lord and starts running down the beach. So I persuaded her to come back down. Matt took hold of her. That was a good moment. Anyway, from what I know, what I've seen on, like, you get a stadium and you see a plane fly over and it says, Gertrude, would you marry me? You know, that's pretty obvious. And then in the arenas and stuff where they drop to a knee and you see them. And most young ladies at that point, they put their hands to their face and then they tear up and then this little head goes, yes. Not Laura. She looks at me, you can see, they're talking, they're discussing this. What are they doing? So eventually, when we did get to meet them after that, I said, what are you doing? She says to Michael, are you sure? Well, no, I just flown from Australia to Canada, gone to a beach, spent $1,000 this and that, and I'm not sure. Anyway, they did have a little cuddle and it worked out really well. At this point, I would like to welcome Laura and her family into our group, the family. And even if we don't get on, we're in Canada, they're in Australia, so it doesn't matter, does it? Oh, sorry. I like you, Phil. The only thing I would ask, Mike, is if you can think about this, but 3 years ago I came over and met Phil and Mary, and anyway, if you could change your last name when you go back to Melbourne to Michael Corleone, because they come from the mafia area, and I put an application in 3 years ago with Phil and it still hasn't been approved. Okay, now on the website, yeah, Phil. Oh, sorry guys, yeah. You want to make any comments, Phil? No, okay, but later you can respond in your your turn, okay. So anyway, it got to the point I looked up the website, biggest load of rubbish I ever read about what you should do, and it said I could read a poem. So this, Michael, this is incredible. I can't believe it. It's so good. It's an unbelievable poem I've written. No laughing. No, you can't do this business, okay? This is just for you. It's called Michael's poem. Now I want you all to be quiet and listen, okay? Listen to the words quietly. Roses are red, violets are blue. We are here today to be with Laura and you. Over the oceans we flew, drinking more than a few. Party time with the cabin crew. Time zones we crossed and islands we passed. Then Fiji came into sight at last. Through the velvet clouds we slowly descend. Our mission in Fiji to spend. All checked in and enjoyed the spa. Now it's time to head to the bar. So much to see and people to meet. Another 9 days and I'm already beat. Long days and long nights, it has taken a toll. But now to the wedding, we're on a roll. Towering trees and lush flowers, green carpet beneath. With pleasure, the moment has come, your vows to bequeath. With pleasure and pride, I can truly say, God bless you, Mike, on your wedding day. So, can I just have a toast to Mikey?
And Laura.
Be a tremendous day, Mike.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You're welcome. Next.
Thank you, Robin. That was fantastic. That was a poem of the ages. Okay, so we're going to switch gears now. Ciao ragazzi, ci vediamo. It's time for one of the all-time great keynote speakers here to grace us with with a sequel to Laura's 30th. Please welcome to the stage, Phil Shebeki.
Oh my God, no pressure. Thanks, Jared. That's my favourite song of all time. I didn't know that was going to happen. It's made my night. Anything else happens now, it doesn't matter. Robin, that was amazing. I don't know how to follow that, but I'll see how you go. Look, I'd just like to start off by just thanking all of you guys for making the effort to be here. So give yourselves a round of applause. Also, I want to really acknowledge Laura and Mike for putting this together. They've done it with so much care and detail. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Is everyone having a good time, Fiji? Yeah. Good stuff. Wonderful venue, having a great time. And this is the best location wedding I've ever been to. It's wonderful. And Laura and Mike have been very excited about today, their ideal wedding in paradise with all of the people that are important to them. And I was actually surprised. I got very emotional today when I walked Laura in. When I first saw her today, so looking so stunning in her wedding dress, it just reminded me when she was a little girl. And I couldn't help reflect back and think about that. And it makes me feel very proud the way she's handled herself in life, dealt with all the challenges that life throws at you, and everything that she's achieved to get where she is today. So well done, Laura. Now, we could tell that Laura was keen on Mike from the start, but it did take her a while to introduce him to us. I think she was concerned we would judge him. But of course we're going to judge him, Laura. It's our job as parents. It's part of our job description. Anyway, she did finally introduce us to him while we were holidaying in Yarrawonga, and we got on with him immediately. Besides the strange accent, we actually really liked him. And I couldn't understand why she was so hesitant. Now, the first time Mike had dinner at our place, he realised how important food is to us Italians. Not only was there plenty of it, but we later found out that he was quite shocked when I gave Mary feedback on the meal. Apparently it's not done in Canada. I don't think he had a problem with the positive feedback, but when I told Mary that certain things I didn't like about the meal, Mike thought World War III was going to break out. And to his amazement, Mary just said something like, "Oh, thanks, honey, I'll remember that for next time." Mike also came to realise that we give each other a lot of feedback in our family about all sorts of things, don't we? Some things I've noticed about Laura and Mike. Laura is very caring, thorough, courageous and fun-loving. Mike is very confident and easygoing with a can-do attitude. They're both very independent, but together they make a great team while giving each other space to be and do what they want. The way they organised this wedding together, how they bought a house together, and the way in which they've raised a dog together are some examples of what a great team they really do make. Now, any relationship, and in particular marriage, I think, isn't actually there to make us happy. Its purpose is to help us grow. As the relationship or marriage grows and develops, so do we as individuals. And from what I've observed with Laura and Mike is that they have the awareness and the ability to enjoy the fun times, and more importantly, have the capacity to work through the challenging times together. This gives them the opportunity to grow as a couple and, of course, as individuals as well. Laura and Mike, if both of you can bring the same level of discipline and commitment to your marriage as you've brought to other things like being vegetarian and then vegan, the fur baby, and your careers, then you'll have a long and amazing life together. And when the challenges come, because they will, and there'll be plenty of them, if you both keep your commitment and continue to diligently work at your relationship, you'll become happier and happier. And when you think you can't get any happier, you'll get happier. I'm going to leave you with something that a very wise person once told me. In life, as well as in marriage, we have two choices. We can choose to be right, or we can choose to be happy. But we can't have both. So, as you develop the ability and awareness to choose giving up being right, the more you will experience true and lasting happiness, contentment, peace, and joy. So, Laura and Mike. Now, there's something I want to address that actually Robin brought up. Interesting.
Good, Phil. Glad to hear that.
It's part of the merger of our two families. And yes, we did make an application, didn't we, for you to join the actual... Never got back to you. And I thought that recently. I thought, what's happening? That's right, what's happening with that application? So I actually contacted HQ in Sicily. And, surprisingly, I got to actually speak to the Godfather. Yeah. And he said to me, facci una offerta che non puoi rifiutare. Translated, make him an offer he cannot refuse. So, so if you could come up here, Robin. We have a bit of a special presentation here. Fica in bocca. Stick it in your mouth.
It's my buddy! Yeah! Let's
Are we back? That was the Godfather. So I've got an official certificate sent all the way from Sicily, Robin, that says this is the certified. This is the certified on this day, 6th of September 2019. Robin Scott has formally joined La Familia, the family. So welcome.
Thank you, Phil. You got to do properly. Look, come here. You got to do the kissing. Oh, it's a cheeky. Oh, it's a cheeky. That's enough. I'm not sure about that. Okay. That's a good.
She's a good. Yeah, she's a.
There's a microphone back to the other peasants. Let's go sit down.
Okay, we're done. We're done here.
Absolutely outstanding. Let's hear it one more time for Phil Shebeki. And let's welcome Roberto Scuzzi to the family. Okay, we're like the couple, we are now having a very social meal together. So you will see that mains have been served. Enjoy. They are share plates, so get involved, get to know your neighbours, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Welcome to the family. You know what this means. Play your cards right.
Yeah, I know.
Excellent.
Please welcome to the stage the dashing Matthew Scott. This is my song right here.
Let's listen to it.
You gotta speed it up a bit. Gonna take my Tinder to the hotel room. Till I can't no more. Take my horse to the... Just kidding. Okay. Oh shit. First of all, I'd just like to thank Laura and Mike for choosing Fiji and this beautiful setting, getting all our asses down here to party. Basically just gonna share some memories of Mike and his prime. One of my favorites is this night right here in Whistler. A lot of brandy, cigars, Mike diving naked into the snow, enjoying himself. He decided to throw on his onesie, Christmas onesie, with the butt flap on it, and everyone had gone to bed, so he decided to run up all the bedrooms and open up the flap and start farting on everybody. Dirty man. Then there's a time him and Kira were out in Vancouver together, probably one of his first big nights out in Vancouver. Out partying, doing shots, and probably telling each other, I love you, man. So end of the night, they ended up back at Kira's house, just the two of them. And Mike decided to wander down the hallway to the living room where the laptop was sitting. And I thought it was a toilet and flipped it up and just pissed all over it. Laptops at that time were about $4,000. But then there was a time, one of our Christmas gatherings at the Scott's house, our close relatives, and we whipped up a batch of weed brownies. And needless to say, Mike went straight for the brownies and had to be carried home and wrapped up in a blanket and put to bed. Yeah, there we go. But in all seriousness, I gotta say I'm super proud of you, Mike. I've always been proud to tell everyone, my family, my possible future in-laws, how well you've done. Not possible, not yet. But how well you've done and how much you've done in your life and how you've climbed the corporate ladder and always done well with your jobs. And you met a beautiful girl with a beautiful family, and I couldn't be prouder. Wow. I'd also like to thank the Shebeckis and all the Australian friends and foreign friends that have helped take care of Mike over the years while he's been overseas, pursuing his dreams and keeping him safe. Now on to Laura. So this past summer, last year, Laura came to Canada. We went up to Sprout Lake and had a vacation house for the week there on the water, and I really got to know the true Laura that weekend, and Emma as well. Both rocking out real hard to Spice Girls, showing their dance moves every single night. It was quite the show. But also she was really cool to our little cousin Kayla, whipping her hair around on the boat, having a blast, just showing us her true self. And I really was excited to invite you into the family. Mike told me, glad to have you. We love you. But Mike had told me he wanted to propose, and I said, yeah, do it. Quit being a pussy. Let's go. But the only thing is I'm not doing a damn speech. Well, he lied, because I'm up here right now doing a speech.
Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much that's it for me. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Just want to raid the glasses. To all the dogs we left at home. Gio, Buddy, Sadie. Who would I forget? Bendy. We got it all. So anyone else with their fur babies, let's have a toast and have a good night, and let's get this party started. Okay, guys, let's hear it for Matt. That was amazing. Well done, mate. Something tells me he's just starting. He's not out of first gear. Okay, we're now going to welcome to the stage the international jet setter, the high-flying, highly adventurous, beautiful Emma Shebeki.
later. Why is there a knife here? Hello, everyone. Hola. Okay, so some of you may or may not know how the love began between this Canadian boy and this Australian Italian boy, a girl. Sorry. Anyway, let me share a story with you. It was the year 2011 when a match was made in heaven. Sitting opposite each other, fate may have played a role in making these two stick, even though Laura thought Mike was a bit of a prick. It wasn't until one Friday night, when they both had a little too much to drink, that the sparks began to fly and they shared a kiss, or at least that's what we think. But they denied their romance at work and were sure not to be seen. Although lucky Mike didn't wait too long to make it official, as someone else from work was keen. He's not here.
Of course he's not here.
He's dead. Love quickly blossomed for these two, and this was a fact. It's true what they say, opposites do really attract. Laura is very caring, cautious, and is fantastic at designing things so they look pretty. Mike is a to-do man, loves an adventure, especially a water sport, and is also very witty. When it comes to making a decision, Laura finds this tricky, although she's always been certain about Mike, so I guess you could say she's just really picky. Mike's smart, has a six-pack, and quite the hairy back.
Not in this one.
And their affection is like two puppy dogs. I hate to think what they're like in the sack. Their personality traits may differ, however they truly do complement one another. Mike adores you, Laura. It's in all the little things he does. And I look forward to calling you my brother. Mike, you asked me a few weeks ago what my first impression of you was. And from the moment I met you, I always felt like you're the brother I never had. I thought, wow, Laura's really hit the jackpot. He's smart, funny, and has multiple passports. But what really sold it for me was seeing how you treat Laura. It's from the little things, like how you find her quirks really cute. No, never mind. And like from and to supporting her with her career change. You always have her best interest at heart. I also really appreciate the time you have for your family. Like especially like last year in Vancouver, spending the time with your family was really special. And I just felt so welcomed and a part of the family. Now it's official. Woo! Woo! And to my beautiful sister, you look absolutely stunning today. It's been such an honour to be standing by your side and witnessing you marry the man of your dreams. From the moment you got engaged last year in Vancouver, when everybody knows that I was physically restrained, had to be physically restrained from ruining their moment because I was so emotional.
Good job, Matt.
To helping you select the right shoe for the night from the 1,400 options, to seeing you crying the first time I saw you in your wedding dress,
It's been such a fun and exciting experience to share together, and it's really highlighted how close we are, even though I'm far away. And to the two of you, I truly admire how you're such a team. You really do lift each other up, and you're conscious about growing as individuals. You show this in many ways through your love with animals, especially Bandy, and the impact you have on the environment and the people around you. You've taught me that happiness is a choice, and it's who you choose to tackle life's adventures with, both the good and the bad. That's the key to a good relationship. And I'm honoured to be standing here witnessing the two of you make that choice and commitment to one another. So on that note, let's raise our glasses and make a toast to the beautiful couple on their special day. To Laura and Mike. Cheers, darling. Love you both.
Brilliant, Emma. Well done. Thank you very much. Big round of applause again. I happened to glance across at a table of Shebeckis completely glued into everything you were saying then. So well done. Very heartfelt and very much appreciated. It's now time for a kiss by the sounds of it. Keep them ringing, eh? Come on, you two. Okay, that's enough. So, I asked Mike and Laura to describe this crowd in one word. We all had to do that on the way in, yeah? Yeah, so there was a few of those thoughts going through my head, Raj. I was thinking amazing, beautiful, tolerant. We landed on patient. And I thought that was a really interesting choice. They thought you guys were all pretty amazing for putting up with them and everything they are for all of their lives. I think it's now time that we take a word and listen to what they've got to say about this room and about each other. So, we're going to start with a bit of encouragement, because I know one of these speakers is a little bit nervous. So, can I get the biggest cheer of the night before I hand over the microphone to Laura Shebecki? Yeah! Fresh from a shot, let me welcome Laura Shebecki.
Hi guys. In case you don't know me, if you don't, then you're probably not invited. But I'm the bride. So I don't really have a speech prepared because I'm quite last minute. And I spent more time writing everyone else's notes because I think that was more important to me, that I would have that for everyone else than have what I need to say, and I'm just going to wing it. So let's hope this goes well. I firstly want to say it's not a typical tradition for the bride to speak, but having a public speaking dad over there, I was like, I can't not do it. So I'm here today. I just want to start by saying how taken aback I am that there's a lot of different groups here tonight, and I had this moment on Wednesday, I think, when Mulla Mulla got cancelled, but I was like, no, it'll be fine, we'll all just go have drinks at the bar, and you don't really know how it's going to turn out with different people getting to know each other. And I just had this moment to myself on the day where I looked around and everyone was just getting along really well. And I just thought, oh, this is the best. This is why I've been looking forward to this wedding, to go on holiday with the 51 of you here today. So thank you everyone for coming along. Mike will probably say a similar thing as well, but I so appreciate you all being here. And I really hope that instead of doing the traditional bomboniere that, you know, of sugared almonds or something similar, that we took a different approach and we hand wrote those notes because we just wanted to really show our appreciation to all of you. So I say it again, really love that you're all here, so thank you.
And on that note, some of you travelled from Australia, which...
Yeah, it's 5 hours. Right. Yes, it's awesome, but some of you travelled 28 hours to be here. So, and then in between. So we've got people from all over, and it means a lot to Mike and I that, you know, you've all been here today. The next thing that I want to talk about is it was mentioned in the ceremony that there were some people here, there was people mentioned that couldn't be here tonight, and I don't know if you guys saw, there was a little candle that we have lit for those who couldn't be here, which is my grandparents on their wedding day. So 3 of them are looking down on us today, and 1 who is a bit old to travel. So I just want to acknowledge them and know that they're here with us in spirit. So let's do a little toast to them. I didn't bring my glass, but toast the night. Next up, I want to talk about the Scott family. You guys have been amazing. I'm a bit crazy. You've all welcomed me in. You know, it's kind of hard. I've taken away your son in a way, and you haven't held it against me, so thank you for that. He'd probably be back living in Canada by now, and I've kept him in Australia. And I think one day we'll come and do, you know, our time in Canada, because I'm probably more, up for it at the moment. No, we both are. He's just waiting for Google to open up in Vancouver.
Thank you, Laura.
So, if we can get that petition happening. Yeah, you guys have been amazing. We've had such short time together, I think, because it's always these trips that I come over every year or so, and it is only a week or so that we're there, but you've welcomed me in from the start, and I feel very much a part of your family, even before today, so thank you very much. Next up, I want to talk about my family. I'll start with my parents. You guys are just, for the 33 years I've been here, you've been amazing. I've been through a lot of ups and downs, and you guys have too, and we've gone on it together, and Mum, I know you drop anything and do anything for me. Last night she was blow waving my hair at 1 a.m. and it's just proof that she'll literally be drop anything for me, and you're amazing, Mum, and you were always such a giving person. You always put yourself before everyone else, and I kind of just look at you and think, I hope if I have kids one day I can be half the person that you are. Sorry, I made you cry 3 or 4 times today. And Dad, Sicilian Papa over here. I hope you keep that hat on all night, it really suits you. You've just been the calm in our crazy family. I know I've said that a lot lately, especially because we've had a lot going on. But I think whenever I've been down or upset or just felt lost and needed advice, especially when I was in the kind of similar situation to you when, I was I don't know what I want to do with my life and I want to change careers. And I think it gave me a lot of courage to do that because you had done that before and you kind of were pushing me to do it. So yeah, you've always been a big supporter and gave good advice. So thank you, Dad. Chochi, you're next. For those who don't know, Chochi's Emma. No, I won't tell her why. They can find out later. Ask her later. I don't want to embarrass her. You just did such a beautiful speech then. I love that you did a poem. Emma's specialty is poems. So if you need a poem done, you've been amazing. Like, we live 28-hour flight away in the past year, and in that time you were there for the engagement, you were there for the hens, and you planned an amazing hens, as like all the girls here know. And you went to such effort, and you flew in a month ago for that, and now you've flown another like long distance a month later to be here. So you're amazing, Fox. Like, yeah. I love you. You've always been there for me. I probably like bossed you around and didn't treat you very nice when we were young, but we're good now. I love you. Lastly, my husband. Hubby. Hello? I thought he'd gone. Who would have thought when you moved to Melbourne and started this role that the girl sitting opposite you was going to be your future wife? I didn't think so, because I think from what everyone else has said, I wasn't the biggest fan of you. I need to tell you guys, like, before Mike started, the team he led was like a mess, and I used that team because I was an account manager, and they were all like, when this Mike starts, oh, he's gonna like sort the team out, and I'm like, this guy better be good, like. And then he started, and he was so rude to everyone. And I was like, I don't know about him. So then I got him drunk, and I was like, oh no, you're actually right. Like, you've got a nice side to you. You just put it on at work to like make people feel inferior to you. I know I'm not wrong. It's in my vows. So anyway, after a few drinks, I was like, no, you aren't that person. You're caring, you're thoughtful, you're smart, you're considerate, and you're also cheeky, but I love that about you. We've had so many memories over the past 8 years. A few testing ones and a few solid ones, but I think that's why we're here today. One example that's really stuck in my mind was, as I mentioned before, when I decided to quit my job and study full time. You were so supportive, and I don't think I could have done that without you. I was a mess when I went through that, and I was doing all-nighters, getting my folio done, and to the point where I was like, I don't even have time to cut my food up. So he cut it up for me and fed it to me while I'm finishing my folio. Like, it was amazing. And then at the end of it, when I was probably like not even the best girlfriend during that time, you surprised me with a trip to Tassie after I graduated. So I just can't even describe how much I appreciate it. I love you a lot. And another example of your caring side is the love you have for Bandy. It's insane. I'm the third wheel. But it just shows, like, it goes to show that, like, there's so many layers to you, and you're such a generous and giving, caring, loving person, and I'm really happy to call you my husband today. So let's raise our glasses, and thank you everyone for being here. I hope I winged my speech okay. And I think now I'm going to pass it over to my husband.
So they say pressure brings diamonds. What an absolute diamond. How good was that, everyone? Laura Shebeki. So I'm now going to hand over to someone who's great at finishing other people's sentences, the sender of emails, and possibly the most organised man in the world.
Robert Scott.
Yeah. Please, everybody, welcome Michael Scott to the stage.
I honestly have no idea how I'm going to back that up. You just blew my mind. That was one of the best speeches I've ever heard, and I'd like to give you a big round of applause. I'm pretty turned on right now, to be honest. That was amazing. Well done. Tonight's going to be fantastic. So in the spirit of being organized, I've got about 17 pages here, and I've been completely rattled because Laura's just fucking outdone me. That's probably a sign of things to come. I did want to start first and foremost with thanking all of you. You are the most amazing people in our lives, and when we sat, and I think I've told most of you this story already, but like when we sat down and we started writing those notes in your cards, that was actually one of the nicest things I think we've done personally. Just, it was really almost therapeutic to sit there and like just think about each of you individually. And what you mean to us, and then to write it down and to tell you. I definitely cried a few times. Mom, Dad, yeah. When I saw you guys sitting there today, I was shedding tears a little bit. So anyone who was gambling, yes, I was welling up, and yes, I was looking at my mom and dad, and I saw Laura coming around, and I was like, fuck, life's getting like real right now. But it was amazing, and I hope everyone, are you having a good time? Have you had a good holiday so far? The Habibi crew, can I get a shout out for you nut jobs? And I really want to thank Craig because he's put his car behind the bar. No one was there. So it actually turns out that Conrad, our faithful photographer over here, he's mates with the guy at Habibi, and he made a booking for about 40 people. And then Laura and I pulled the pin on it after a buddy at Habibi had gone and bought a bunch of food for all of you people. And then you all went there anyway and ate all of the food and had a fantastic time. So I think, Conrad, we saved your bacon, and we're all good now. Anyway, that was where I wanted to start. I just want to make sure everyone is having a good time. This has been a fantastic holiday so far. We're really enjoying ourselves, and I think one of the reasons that we chose to do a destination wedding was just that. We wanted to spend time with our friends and family. To be honest, selfishly, we're never going to get to go on holiday with all of you guys again. And if we're going to spend a bunch of money on a wedding, we thought, why not drag you guys through that as well, and hang out with us. So we're glad. We're hoping everyone's having a good time. I think one of the things we want to do is say some thank yous. Now the first person or creature that I really want to thank, obviously that Laura called out, is Bandy. If we can all raise a glass to Bandy, what a fucking legend he is! So he couldn't get in due to immigration, unlike Jared. He's been incredibly supportive through our engagement and our relationship, through all of the ups and downs. He's been there for us. All he ever wanted was a treat, a paw, a pat on the head, a cuddle in bed with us. He's just been an absolute legend. And also, all the above. I know everyone's wondering, like, what was the outcome of the survey that you guys did with the dogs and cats? That was Bandy's question. What was he wondering? Do we think we're a dog crowd or a cat crowd? Can I get a yay for dogs? Yay! Can I get a yay for cats? Yeah, you're weird. So the number was 56.7%, and the other 20% was made up of random weird things that were still alluding to dogs. Matt, I'll call you out. You specifically wrote in the other section, I just wanted to say dogs clearly because I don't like cats at all. Mary and Phil said goldfish. What the fuck? You're a dog sitter. So anyway, so big shout out to Manny. He couldn't be here, but he wishes he could be here, and he wishes you all the very, very best. I also wanted to thank Louise. So you guys know who Louise is. Louise is somewhere around here. She put together all of the food, and she also put up with Laura and I. And my emails, obviously. I love emails. We sat for like 3 hours with her and her husband and like redid the food, and she made new food and stuff like that. It's not a traditional wedding food that you would normally get, but Laura and I obviously are obsessed with vegetables. We wanted to have a bit of a vegetable feast. We hope that you're full. If you're not, have a drink. There's a shit ton of booze at the bar. So thank you, Louise. And a big thank you to Pooja and her team who aren't here now, but they set this up. This place looks pretty amazing. Does everyone think it looks pretty good? Did everyone enjoy Ken-Bay's cocktail area? Yeah? That's good? And the ceremony, good? Awesome, good. Glad we're having a good time.
And then I wanted to thank a few other people. One is Chris Reeby, and I don't even know why I'm thanking you. You basically destroyed me on my bucks. You win. You know, we had a good crack at you on yours in November, and your brother won. But, you know, in my bucks, you absolutely won. And for those that haven't heard or seen Craig's video, I managed to eat an entire bowl of ramen. And then when I was done with it, I put it back in the bowl. I gave it back to the restaurant, and then I went to bed at about 8 o'clock. So that was great. That was great. That was my bucks. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Reedy. You're an absolute legend. I also wanted to thank Dan Sims. Everyone know who Dan is? He's the fellow over here. He lacks hair. Yep, that's that guy right there. Yep. So Dan helped me look so dapper tonight. Do I look dapper? Yeah. Can you give me an applause for looking dapper? So Dan and I went to the tailor together, and he was there to help me make decisions on colors and all that kind of shit. Anyway, we were standing there, and so you walk up, and the tailor's kind of standing there, and he goes, "Oh, do you play sports?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, basketball, volleyball, kite surfing, surfing." Basically, I'm just like, this is an opening for me to like try and say I'm a legend. And he's like, "Yeah, right, okay, cool." Because you got a bit of a stoop, and your right arm's a bit short, and you have no butt. And I was like, you have just given me a lifetime of complexes, and Dan, a lifetime of material. And it was at that point I realized what a mistake it was bringing you to come and get my suit fitted, but you're welcome. He also adjusted the jacket so you couldn't see my stooped short arm and missing butt. Shut up, Steve. You're short. And Scottish. I also wanted to thank, and a massive thank you to this very handsome man over here named Jared. What a fucking legend you are. Is everyone aware what he went through to get here today? Is everyone aware what I went through for him to get here today? It was my speech, it was my wedding, and tell you what I went through. So about 5 in the morning, we were planning to go surfing with Josh and the boys, and so we were getting up early anyway, and I was thinking, I'm a bit stressed out anyway, it's wedding week. And I look at my phone at 5 in the morning, and there's a message from Jared saying, "Oh, hey mate, like, listen, so immigration aren't letting me into the country. I sent you a stat deck, it was a really long email. If you could just like sort that out by 6 a.m., that'd be fucking sweet." I was like, great, that's not what I was expecting. And then I hear outside just rain pouring, and I was like, oh, cool. So we're going surfing, and 44 people are going to be going to Mala Mala, and it's raining, and I got to deal with Australian immigration. We're off to a rocking start on my first day in Fiji. Thanks for getting here. So I sat in the lobby, we got on the printer in the business center, and all the lads that were coming surfing with us helped me. We wrote a statutory declaration, and it turns out that the Australian government has approved our friendship. And then Jared did a bunch of running around and crazy shit for the next day, and here he is, being our MC. So once again, thank you, mate, you're an absolute legend. Interesting fact about Jared, he and I met when I worked at Responsus, and I was presenting at one of our events, and during that presentation I was trying to justify my trip to Brazil that I'd done with Steve and some of the other boys, and so I just made up random correlations to what I was talking about, to my holiday, and tried to get my boss to let me expense it. Anyway, so I was doing like a samba dance, and so Jared's first interaction was seeing me on stage in front of lots of people doing a samba dance, trying to connect it to data migration. And here I am, a dickhead on stage once again, so you're welcome. I also really wanted to thank Mary and Phil. You guys are, you're my parents in Australia. It gets, it's pretty hard, and as I mentioned before, I get a bit teary when I see my mom and dad and my family and stuff, because I don't get to see them all the time. But you guys have been amazing. You've kind of stepped in. You've been my mom and dad while I've been here. You've welcomed me and my family into your home. I love you guys both dearly. You're my Australian parents. You graciously sat there while my dad wore a prison uniform during dinner and didn't really bat an eyelid. I know you were confused, because I was too. But you were so gracious. We even after the meal and did the usual walk that we do when people come and visit Mary and Phil, and we go down and we walk and we look for the kangaroos. It's the sun setting. It's fantastic. Many of you have probably done that with us before. But I really appreciate everything you've done to help us be here today. Phil, fuck, you nailed my dad. Holy. And Dad, you just set yourself up for that. That was not rehearsed, by the way. La Familia.
You're a man. I can't believe that.
We were having dinner with Dad last night, Matt and I, and Dad was like, "Oh, I'm going to do something at the end of the speech." You know, and I said to Matt, I was like, "You don't know this, but like, I think Dad's going to say something about Mafia, and he has no idea how rinsed he's going to get." And lo and behold, Phil, you crushed it, and Marty, you nailed the tune. Anyway, this is getting a bit long, but I'll try and pick up the pace. And then I wanted to thank my mom and dad. And I didn't know how to do this. I thought of a bunch of sappy things that I could say about mom and dad, how lovely you are, you're handsome, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But what I actually realized is my parents are really cool. Like, they're cool parents. Like, when we grew up, these cats, they fucking partied hard. As Dad alluded to in the speech, I am possibly the son of someone from The Who. I don't know who he is, but like, I could be famous, or at least rich. So, blood work needs to be done. We'll sort that out. But I also wanted to tell a really touching story that they'll remember, hopefully fondly, and Matt will probably remember as well. So my parents, my dad, I don't even know how he did it, something through work. He won a trip on the Concorde. Someone remember the Concorde? Yeah. So they won a trip on the Concorde to fly from New York to Paris for a weekend. Really romantic couples weekend away. And they decided, I say they, I have a feeling it might have been Mom. Yeah, definitely Mom. They decided that they would actually turn that in and take half the money's worth of that trip. They bought a Plymouth Voyager. For those that are Australian, that's a shitty minivan. And they put my brother and I in the minivan, and we did a 2-week holiday where we drove to Anaheim, to Disneyland, which is about a 2 days of driving nonstop to get all the way down there, down the I-5. And we stopped every morning, and we went to Denny's, and Denny's is a shitty diner. But if it's your birthday, you eat free. It was Matt's birthday for 2 weeks straight. He's a hillbilly for so many other reasons, but I thought that was just one of the most honest examples of how much my mom and dad loved Matt and I growing up, is that they sacrificed what's quite possibly one of the most epic trips you could have done. I mean, I kind of think you're idiots, like you could have been on the Concorde, it's gone now. But you chose to spend time with your children and take us to Denny's and Disneyland, and we got to see the Oakland A's play the Toronto Blue Jays in baseball in the playoffs, which was super special. And there's so many memories that I have from that trip, and I'm sure Matt does as well. And I just think it's such a great example of how much you love us. And we love you guys a lot too.
By the way, for those 40,000 A fans, Robin,
your speech is done. It's my turn. It's my turn. Thank you, Steve. Sort him out. When Dad's done, I wanted to thank my brother. Yeah. No, not shit. I'm not giving you a hard time. Also known as the Tinder Cowboy. Would everyone agree with me that Joel and Matt have been like a theme of like the wedding? Like, where are the two gorillas just like going through the pool? They all just like cheer them on a little bit more. Joel, you're a legend. Matt, you're a legend. They kind of look more related than Matt and I do, but that's fine. We'll get Matt on a vegan diet. It might leave in no time. I wanted to also thank Matt for, I had $2. So Chris had the one that made me spew ramen down the coast. And Matt had one that resulted in me getting what I thought were 3 lap dances, but turned out it was 9. So thank you. And we got 2 free ones at Joel's house by 2 strange women that no one knows who they are, but I think you went on a date with later, didn't you, Joel?
She's a nice girl.
Her name's Carla. Carla seems lovely. If anyone wants to see the video, I'll show you. It's on my phone. I'm passed out. She's a great dancer. we had a very fun time, and in all seriousness, Matt organized an amazing trip because he had to coordinate people catching ferries and coming across, and me being there and landing, all kinds of stuff. So thank you very much for doing that, and also just thank you for this isn't written in my notes, and you've been amazing this week, like absolutely amazing. You've been there for me when I've been stressed out. I've been stressed out a lot.
You're always stressed, right?
I'm like, yeah, it's not that I don't eat meat, it's that I'm just a high anxiety person, that I'm so skinny, and I think I get that from my dad. But Matt's been here for me the whole time. He's been supportive. He's calmed me down. It's just reminded for all the reasons that he's my best man. He's my best friend. I love him dearly with all my heart, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys are starting to really love him a lot as well. He's a great man. Let's go, cheers for Matt. And if we can get a shout out to Chris Reedy for tying his bow tie, that was a 25-minute endeavor. And also, if we can just get a big shout out to YouTube for that too, right? You know, and for not clicking on the ads. No. In all seriousness, if you guys could always click on ads, you'd help me pay my mortgage.
It's not a business trip.
I want to expense it though, hon. Come on.
Actually, okay, keep going.
Okay, cool. And then I wanted to thank my new sister. So I'm pretty stoked. If I was gonna have a sister, I was a pretty shit hot sister to have. She's amazing. She's a great speech. She's been amazing with Laura, massively amazing with Laura. What she did with the hens do was fantastic. She did that from London, and so for those that were in Canada and weren't at it, there were 48 people in my house with penises everywhere. A sign that said what I first thought, one small penis forever, but it turns out it said the same penis forever, which is probably a reflection on something going on with me personally. But they had a fantastic time. Emma organized all that, and you're amazing, and I'm so happy that I now get to call you my sister. I also wrote you a poem.
Oh yeah.
Chachi loves poems. So I will tell you why it's Chachi. She had little fat cheeks when she was a baby, so they called her Chachi cheeks. It's not a long story. So here's a poem. Chachi, we're so glad you're here today. We simply couldn't imagine it any other way. You're beautiful, witty, fun, and sassy. And according to the survey, just a little bit gassy. Both ends. And many memories together with plenty more to come. So on that note, let's get this party started with some coconuts and rum. So cheers to Chachi. Oh, lady of the hour. Toastmaster Laura blew me away. So I thought I'd start with one, if we could just acknowledge how fantastic she looks. The dress is amazing, her hair looks amazing. Mary, she's incredibly hot, and I'm a very, very lucky man, and I know what you're all thinking. How did a guy with a stooped shoulder, short right arm, and no ass manage to pull off Laura Shebeki? Great question. Dimples. No, it's not. It was basically the greatest con job ever pulled off in history. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of that con job. Some of it's been touched on already. And some of it, I thought was true, but just got really validated by a couple of people. So I was living in London for a few years, and that's where I met some of my really dear friends that are here today. So cheers to the London crew. Steve. And a few others that couldn't be here. But while I was in London, I lived in Clapham, and it turns out that Laura and I actually lived in London at the same time, in the same neighborhood, so there's a high propensity that we might have had a bit of a grind on the dance floor, cheeky passion infernos. Anyone that lived in London knows that's an absolute dive and highly credible and a highly likely outcome. But then, as my dad alluded to, I had the opportunity to move to Australia with my work. And I thought, okay, cool. I'm gonna make the move to Melbourne. I thought it was a decision at the time. It turned out it wasn't. But one of my good friends, Seals, lived in Melbourne, and she really pitched it well. I came out to do a bit of a trip with work originally to suss cities out, and she showed me all the hipster stuff, and I was like, I'm super hipster. I fucking dig this. So off to Melbourne I went. And then my very first day at work, I sat down at my desk, and sat in front of me was Laura. I thought to myself, okay, cool. There's a cute chick there. Yeah, no, I'm a pervert, Joel. That's not the point of the story. We're pervert too. We lived together for 2 years. We both know we're perverts. Get over it. Does everyone know Joel and I lived together for 2 years in Vancouver? We used to go out at the same time, and then we'd never come home at the same time, and then one of us would wake up in the morning and be like, "You there? Yeah? You alone? No?"
Move on.
Great times. Anyway, so I have my 5.5 years in London, moved to Melbourne, met Laura. She sat in front of me, and I thought, yeah, she's pretty cute, cool. And then as it's now, you've all heard, and I found out subsequently later through Emma, she thought I was cute, but a bit of a prick. So, evidently there was work that needed to be done. And then what happened over the next sort of few weeks, because we actually ended up dating not long after I joined there, but during that time at Responsus, we ended up forming a really close group of people that became our really dear friends. And there's a bunch of them that are here today. So the Responsus crew, hold your hands up. Yeah, you guys rock. Dan, put your hand up. You're married into Responsus. You have nothing else to marry. Come on, get your hand up. And so a few of those people, Mark, who's sat in the back there, Mark is a parent of rabbits. We learned that in his survey. Well done, Mark. Mark's also who I love to go surfing with. Well done, Mark. You have beautiful rabbits. They love cabbage. They shit on this floor. And Raj used to think he's a DJ, now he's just a dad. So well done, Raj. We've got Andrea, who used to think the Netherlands and Holland were two different countries. Well done. And we've got Chris, who used to be my footstool when he sat beside me at work. Well done, mate. Anyway, sorry, dragging on a little bit here. So anyway, so there's a good group of us that got together, got to know each other really, really well, and we would all go out at lunch and things like that. And I used to sit with Laura when we would go for these walks, and Laura would tell me about, I wrote this down, I really do want to read it because it's quite detailed. She would say, I've got gluten issues. I'm doing a food log while she's keeping track of what she's eating. She was dating a guy that worked at the gym, but he was a bit of a dick, but she wasn't quite sure what to do. She was living at home. She kind of wanted to move out. She wasn't sure what to do there. She wasn't sure how to have Anyway, I started to feel like it was a bit of a therapy session every lunch, but clearly, I'm pretty sure I had at that point moved out of the prick zone and into possibly the friend zone. So that meant, if there was ever going to be an opportunity to pounce, it needed to be sooner rather than later. So then we would all go out. Sometimes it would be like, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, etc., or Mondays. Basically, we went out and we drank a lot, and there was about 15 of us that would do that. And on one of those Saturday nights, we all went out drinking, and Laura, Raj, and we have this frame that's in our living room as well. We did one of those little photo booth things on Chapel Street. Everyone was having some kebabs and things like that. And then Laura, because if you don't know, Laura at the time was living at her parents' house in Templestowe, working in town, so if she needed to get home, and for the Canadians in the room, it's a pretty long journey. It's like an hour and a half, or I don't even know. No, you gotta take a bus with like 2 transfers at 2 a.m. If you're driving, she's drunk. So anyway, so a bit of a journey. So then Laura shouts out to a group of us, and it turns out that Paul, the threat, was in that group, and said, does anyone have anywhere that I can crash? And I'm pretty sure she was pointing that question at Raj, because Raj was, dating someone, so it was safe. But I pounced. I said, I got an apartment down that street. Come on down. And she did. So Laura came to my house, and we popped a bottle of red wine and a bit of Rohit. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so we hung out. We had a fun night, cracking jokes and things like that. And then the next day, little Laura made her way back to Templestowe, and I was like, pretty stoked. I hooked up with a pretty, as you can all see, sexy girl. And what's going on over there, guys? Okay. All right, I'll get quick then. So, in the interest of alcohol. So Laura then left and whatnot. And then anyway, the next week we all went out, and I was a bit unsure. I was like, no, I think she's pretty interested in me. It turned out Laura was like really uncomfortable because she was like, this is like pre-#MeToo era, right? Like I was a manager and she was not a manager. She's like, is this awkward? Is this bad? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah. Like I said forever. And everything was normal. It was fine. We all went for lunches, and she carried on telling me about her dietary issues. And so that Friday night, we all went out down on St. Kilda Road. So for, again, people that don't live in Melbourne, there's a bit of an area, there's a bunch of bars and things like that. And it turns out when our little blessed Laura here has a couple of cocktails, she gets frisky. A couple of cheeky pashes in the bar, and we have the cab, we're heading back to Casa de Scud again.
Casa de Scud!
And then we started the house, we started in a bloody cab. Okay, sorry, I'll dial it back. So anyway, so Laura came back to mine, and then we ended up, and this is actually really nice, like we ended up spending the whole weekend together. It was pouring with rain, and Laura spent the whole weekend at mine. We ordered in pizza, we watched movies, we laughed, we got to know each other really well, and I think that was when we started to realize that we actually really, there's a relationship going on here. This wasn't just a work thing, and that was when I started to realize that, you know, I quite like this young girl. I don't know if it was Mary yet, that's bold. And then from there, our relationship just sort of blossomed, really. And then over the years, you know, you guys have heard a few different stories and you've experienced numbers of trips and things that we went on together, but, you know, we became a couple officially in November, unofficially in February, depends on who you ask at the time. And we got to know each other really well, and you know, we brought Bandy into our lives, and I know we keep bringing up Bandy, and there's the dog over there, and it's super cute. But Bandy also brought out another side in Laura as well. I know you called that out on me, but it, you know, and parents in the room, I get it. Kids are hard. You love them a lot. We're obsessed with our dogs, and that's just where we're at. And it brought this side in Laura that I saw where she's just so loving, nurturing, and the two of us taking care of her. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to gush about Bandy, but started to realize even more like what a great couple we are. And that's when it led to me starting to realize that it was time to pop the question. And Dad kind of explained that story, so I won't get into the detail. But Matt was actually there when we came up with the plan. And you didn't just call me "Don't be a pussy" once. You actually also said that twice. So on the actual day when I was ready to propose to Laura, I was getting super nervous. And I was like, oh, listen, mate, like, let's just, I'll just do it I'll do it back at the cabin. We'll go down to the dock. It'll be quiet. No one will see it. It'll be fine. And he's like, yeah, no, cool. We're all in the parking lot. We've all driven here. We're all at the beach. Don't be a fucking pussy. And so off I went, and I proposed to Laura, and Emma and Matt and everyone was there to see it. And here we are today. So I just wanted to thank Laura, and I'm going to wrap things up here with just being the most amazing person in the world. We've had some of the most amazing memories together. This is awesome. Like, I'm just so happy with this. This has turned out fantastic. I love you so much with all my heart. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing speech giver too, again. And just to kind of summarize, on Friday night, Jared and I went for a drink, and on my way home after we'd had a drink, I got a ride from a 77-year-old Italian taxi driver. And I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, how you doing? Where are you from? And I was like, I'm Canadian. He starts chatting away to me. And I was like, oh, I'm marrying an Italian. He said, oh, don't do that. There's no escape. I've been in it for 54 years, and I have 3 kids. I can't get out. I took on a taxi job after I retired. I've been in taxi for 17 years just to get out of the house. And so then he and I went on to have all kinds of banter. It turned out he'd been shot 3 times in Kenya. He was a frogman in the Italian army. Just an absolute legend of a human being. He worked in sales. We were riffing the whole way home. But then as we turned down Hood Street, which is where we live now, I said, hey, listen, can I just, and genuinely, I was like, can you please give me a little bit of advice? Like, do you have any words of wisdom when it comes to getting married? You've been married for 54 years, so I'm going to be opportunistic here and get some advice. And he said, yeah, I can. He said, listen, one of the most important things in a relationship is compromise. And I think that's one thing that you and I are very good at doing. You said it in your vows, surfing. We always compromise for one another and care about one another. And he also said, it's also all about the idiosyncrasies. It doesn't matter, you don't want perfect. He said, perfect is boring. Again, I'm not perfect. And he said, well, perfect is boring, and the idiosyncrasies are the things that matter the most. And I just thought that those are such touching words from a cab driver who's Italian and been in a relationship for a very long time. And those are absolutely the things that we cherish about each other, is our idiosyncrasies, our differences.
we compromise, we take care of each other, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life together. So thank you, Laura, and if we could raise a glass to her and all of you, and everyone have a fantastic night tonight. Thank you.
Q&A. Is it Q&A? Is it a Q&A session?
Q&A at the bar.
Okay. Has HR ever been involved?
Thank you, Michael. That was brilliant. What a team. Two people together who can take on anything. They complement each other beautifully. Forever I will know you though, Mike, as the owner of a small nose now. That's completely ruined it for me.